What's up, guys? Chris from Full Battle Jacket here.
What's up, guys? Joe from Seattle here.
And today's video is all about how PC gamers, you guys just don't understand the PS5 Pro.
That's right, we just don't get it. Us PC gamers, we just don't understand the PS5 Pro. All the criticisms we have of the thing and all the mocking we do of the people who are hyped beyond belief for the thing, it all just comes down to the fact that we just don't get it, man. We just don't understand. Phenomenal like to dislike ratio here, by the way. This video was sent to me by a viewer, good old Kev. Thanks, Kev, for the video. But this video is titled PC Gamers Just Don't Understand PS5 Pro. PlayStation 5 Pro vs. PC. But before we get started, let me lay some groundwork, at least for my opinions here, for the new viewers of the channel. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know my opinions on the PS5 Pro. But as a longtime PC gamer, I switched to PC in 2017. I guess that counts as long time now. 7 years on this platform. I think that gives me some kind of authority on the matter. But the big things that make PC gamers, iffy on the PS5 Pro, or just straight up mocking of the PS5 Pro, is not only the fact that it is grossly overpriced, but also everything that Sony has shown us so far just really isn't that impressive for the price, especially considering what you can do with $700 or $800 of PC tech nowadays. There seems to be some misconception about this, but for $700, plus tax, plus a disk drive would go to $800, but we can just keep it at $700. If you know where to look and you buy your parts used, you can absolutely build a PS5 Pro killing PC for less than $700. That is absolutely a thing you can do. But I would argue that's not even the biggest problem with the PS5 Pro. I think the biggest problem with the PS5 Pro, and the main reason why I personally mock it so much, is that the base PS5 broke so many promises and slapped you in the face so many times with pricing, not only of the console itself, but of the things in the console's ecosystem. Sony is an extremely expensive platform nowadays, and instead of making any of those things better, they are adding an even more expensive piece of tech to the family. It is a blatant ripoff what Sony is doing right now. Sony is blatantly trying to vacuum money out of your wallet without earning it. That is why I mock the PS5 Pro. And to respond to your title, I'm going to let you talk. We're going to watch this whole thing together, but just responding to your title here. PC gamers just don't understand the PS5 Pro. We understand it just fine. That's why we don't want it. Continue.
We're going to get into it. But before I do, please do me a big favor. Like this video. Subscribe if you're new.
I'm not going to do that. In the next minute or so is just self-plugs. We're going to skip ahead to his actual points.
5 reasons why PC gamers just don't understand the PS5 Pro or the appeal of the PS5 Pro, or why anyone would want to buy or even consider buying a PS5 Pro.
Shut up and take my money!
As opposed to just investing in a PC.
How lucky it is that there's 5 reasons, right? Man, that would lend itself well to a dog shit YouTube video now, wouldn't it? First problem with your premise here. If you're a PC gamer, you've already invested in your PC. There's 5 reasons why PC gamers just don't get it, man. They don't understand why you'd buy a PS5 Pro instead of investing in their PC. If you're a PC gamer, you've already invested in your PC, which is yet another reason to add to the pile of reasons not to want a PS5 Pro. But way to break your own thesis there. I'll let you continue, I guess.
And number 1 is friction. No, not that kind of friction, you degenerates.
I know you're a new YouTuber. I know you're new to the game here. You held the silence way too long there. It wasn't funny. Trust me, I'm the master of comedy. I've made everyone on the planet laugh at least once.
I mean, the kind of friction where, you install the game and then you're messing around with, video drivers and other drivers for your, other components of your PC.
Yeah, man, PC gamers just don't understand the PS5 Pro. Let me tell you about the PC in a way that reveals I completely do not understand the PC. It's the PC gamers that don't understand, guys, not me. Remember, every time you start a new game, you gotta mess around with all your different drivers. You gotta mess around with the drivers every time you install a game. PC gamers just don't understand the PS5 Pro, man. They just don't get it. Let me clue you in on something. The last time I updated a driver, not my drivers collectively, a driver, a singular driver, was when I updated my NVIDIA drivers, and that was like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. And since then, I have not spared any thought to drivers. And I didn't even get that driver when it came out. I got it just because I was like, oh, I'm doing something else. I'm waiting for something to download. Oh, I wonder if there's a new driver. Oh, there is. Cool. I'll download that while I'm at it. But yes, tell me more about how PC gamers just don't get it, man. The number one reason why you would want a PS5 Pro over a PC is just all the drivers, man. You gotta mess around with all the drivers all the time, but PC gamers just don't get it.
Or how about dialing in the best PC settings for a particular game?
That takes like 5 seconds. Most of us know what we want going in, and even if you don't know what you want going in, you mess around with settings, that takes like 5 seconds. Just low, medium, high. It's not hard.
How many threads have you read online of people asking for the best settings to run a particular game?
I've literally never looked at threads for game settings. Like, not once. Not once have I gone to an outside source to tell me the best settings for a game. I just open the menu and choose the ones I want. Are you capable of independent thought? What is this? Do you need someone holding your hand all the time? Well, you're a PlayStation gamer, so yeah, I mean, you probably do.
That sort of thing. I've lost count.
Remember he says this. He's lost count at how many times he's had to go to an outside source and look up the best settings for a PC game. Remember he says this. He's lost count of how many times he's had to do it. That little tidbit's going to be very important later in the video. Remember he says this.
Compatibility, going to websites like, will it run it, or can I run it? Whatever that website is. There's a website where you can go and you can, type in the game and it'll, run some benchmarks on your system and determine can you run this game or can you not run this game? I just can't be bothered.
Yeah, those are tools. Actually, they're just a little tool to tell you what you should expect. They're not required. Once you can go to sites like that. There's tools that you can use. I know you're a console dude, so options really spook you. But yes, there are tools that you can use that will look at your benchmarks and look at the game and give you a rough estimate of what kind of performance you should be expecting. You don't have to use these. And if you don't like the answers that it gives you, that's what the settings are for. Remember, PC gamers, they just don't understand. PC gamers and their lack of understanding. Goodness gracious. Hey you, are you a classy ROG Ally owner whose battery keeps running out? Did you see my ad read for a magnetic Steam Deck battery and you got really sad that you couldn't have one of your own? Well, stop being sad, you big stupid idiot, cause this ad's for you! This video is sponsored by the Antank Magnetic Power Bank for the ROG Ally. It's a handy little gadget that works similarly to other power banks that you may have owned in the past or maybe you own right now. But instead of sitting on your lap and connecting to your device, the power bank comes with a handy little magnetic piece that attaches to the back of your ROG Ally and lets you attach it right to the machine, and you don't have to sit some big power bank in your lap or in your back pocket or in your backpack like some big goofus in the airport carrying around too many things. You just charge up the power bank like you normally would any other power bank, but then you attach it to the back of your ROG Ally and play normally. The power bank is designed not to block the vents of the ROG Ally. It has overcurrent, over discharge, over voltage, and short circuit protection, and the magnet and frame are strong and secure enough that it won't fall off even if you shake it around a whole bunch. The Antank Magnetic Power Bank for the ROG Ally is available at antank.net. I'll leave a link in the description and a link in the pinned comment to this video. It can be shipped to the US, to Canada, to Britain, and the Czech Republic. And if you insist on using a site that you're more familiar with, you can also order this baby off of Amazon, complete with Prime shipping. So if you're tired of your ROG Ally running out of battery while you're on the go ahead and get yourself an Antank power bank for your ROG Ally. And huge thanks to Antank for their support of the channel.
I want to be able to, go to the store or, go online and download a digital copy of a game and know that it's just going to work for my system.
99% of PC games are going to work on your system. Unless you're playing on a fucking Dell laptop from 10 years ago, 99.6% of games will at the very least boot on your computer, and then you can adjust graphics settings.
The console experience offers more ease of use, free of fiddling around with settings. The experience is just smoother because, the devs, when they're developing the game, they can dial in those settings that are tuned to the machine. And in this case, it's the console.
Oh yeah, no, totally. The devs can just fine tune the experience for the consoles. It's great. It's awesome. No graphic settings mean you can just really fine-tune the experience. Never mind all the games that come out on consoles with absolute dog shit performance, with the most recent example I can think of being Until Dawn, which came out, a few weeks ago? Couldn't even maintain a solid 30 frames per second? Silent Hill 2 Remake also is not doing fantastic in terms of performance. Then you have some of the more obvious ones like Final Fantasy XVI and Forspoken and Redfall. But yeah, no, the lack of graphic settings it's great. It's awesome. The lack of being able to adjust certain visual effects, fine-tune the game to a certain performance metric, to a certain frame rate. I'm willing to sacrifice some graphics here in order to get a better frame rate there, or I'm willing to sacrifice some frames here for improved textures there. No, the lack of that is actually better for you. It's better for you because you don't have to think about it, is basically what you're saying.
They already know the architecture of the console, what it can handle, how does it perform, so on and so forth.
It always makes me laugh when people say this, oh, do console games just run so well because the developers, they know the architecture, man. They don't have to think about all the different graphic settings. They can just really fine-tune the game like this, man. If that's the case, why do we still release games on PC? If it were such a development hassle to release games on PC, why is it still the expectation?
Let me give you an example. So I am a big From Software fan, as you can see. Of course, Elden Ring is, the biggest game that they've made to date.
I already know where this one's going. I already know where this one's going.
And when that title launched on all platforms, and even for Shadow of the Erdtree, the DLC expansion, the PC, even on top of the line rigs for many people, ran PP doo-doo.
Yes, when Elden Ring came out, it had some performance issues on PC. Those performance issues were patched out rather quickly, and this is what the game's approval rating looks like today. But what you won't talk about is the fact that when Elden Ring came out, there were also several massive performance issues on the consoles as well. In fact, running the PS4 version or the Xbox One version on the next-gen consoles was smoother than the next-gen native versions. But you're not going to talk about that, are you? It's almost like performance issues exist on every platform. But when they exist on an open platform, the consumer has an option to fix it themselves or mitigate the problems themselves.
There were some situations for very well-known streamers that I follow where they weren't able to run the game optimally on their top-of-the-line PC.
Well-known streamers. Don't worry, I won't name any.
Whereas on my PS5, I had no issues at all. I had a great time just out of the gate.
Oh yeah, no, right out of the gate, no issues on console. None. Again, the backwards compatible version was running more consistently than the native version, but that wasn't a problem. That wasn't a huge issue for those who bought the next-gen version expecting next-gen performance. And we'll just skip right over that. It's the PC that has problems. While, again, this is what the approval rating looks like. And these are what the Steam charts look like in the middle of October 2024. Yeah, dude, just, PC version of Elden Ring, what a mess.
And I didn't have a lot of the stuttering and the other sorts of issues that PC gamers were dealing with at the time.
Stuttering, that's all you got? The only issue you can mention is stuttering? Are we really about to act like the PC was the only platform where Elden Ring was stuttering during its launch?
On to number 2.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna move right on then. Okay, great. You've done a phenomenal job arguing your points.
Experience. A desk versus the living room.
You can put a PC in your living room. You can hook a PC up to your TV. How are we still doing this? How are we still arguing this?
When I come home from work after a long day and a long commute, I don't want to sit at a desk. I just don't want to do it.
Okay, so don't.
And so another benefit of the living room, I like a big screen. I have a beautiful 65-inch OLED TV.
PC gaming's too expensive, by the way.
I'll tell you what, guys, if you've never gamed on an OLED TV, you just don't know what you're missing.
Yeah, oh no. Yeah, OLED's a 65-inch OLED TV. It's just, too bad the PC can't make use of those. Wait a minute.
You know, once you've experienced OLED, it's very hard to go back. When you game on a big television set, like a big, beautiful OLED TV, it's cinematic. You can kick back. You're sitting away from the TV. You're lounging on the couch or in your favorite chair, and you can just enjoy the game. It's different than sitting in a computer chair.
Again, you can do all of this on the PC if you really wanted to. If you don't want to, that's totally fine. But that's not a point against the PC, because this is a thing you can do on the PC. But at least you use that word cinematic. At the end of the day, we know that's really what matters to you. It's just things being cinematic.
Unless if your gaming throne happens to be a very expensive, like Herman Miller, I can't play a video game for more than 2 hours, at a computer chair.
Okay, so don't.
Whereas in the living room, I can have long sessions, 4 or 5, 6, 7 hours. Easy. It's, because you have more ability to relax and immerse yourself in the experience.
I mean, personally, I don't have a problem doing long play sessions at my desk. I don't think my chair is all that expensive. It was just an office chair I got on sale from like Staples or something. Like it's not even like one of those fancy gaming chairs. It's not even like a fancy office chair. I got it for less than $100, and that was years ago. I've gotten some hefty mileage out of this thing. It's starting to do the thing now where it's like a little bit crooked. You know what I mean? How, like when you've been using a chair for a really, really long time and it just starts to like ever so slightly tilt in one direction. I am gonna have to replace this thing soon. Like maybe after I'm dead.
Than you can sitting at a desk. And so on the subject of, OLED monitors, yeah, there are a couple. I can get one of those MSI OLED monitors.
Well, there's a couple OLED monitors on PC. There's a couple. PC gamers just don't get it, man.
For roughly $600-700 in some cases for a 27-inch. Why would I want to settle for 27-inch OLED and still have to sit at a desk?
If you don't want to sit at a desk, you literally do not have to. How are we still doing this? It's 2024. How do you not know you can hook a PC up to your fucking television? It's an HDMI.
And then many of those monitors have issues with text clarity. So while they may be great for gaming, they may be terrible for other things such as multitasking.
I'm sorry, text clarity? That's your big zinger against gaming monitors is text clarity in some monitors? That's the best you can do? Also, if we're going to make the argument that like, oh yeah, these gaming monitors are good and they exist, but some of them have this minor issue. I'm just going to throw that right back at you. You've been talking about 65-inch televisions. Oh man, they're great for gaming. But what if there's input lag? If we're not talking what ifs, I can give you a million what ifs.
So in terms of experience, desk versus the living room, a desktop versus the couch, I think it largely depends on what type of gamer you are.
Yes, it does. You can use a PC in either scenario. You can use a console in either scenario. Please find new arguments.
I think if you play very twitchy games such as Overwatch or Call of Duty or Fortnite, and you like to have Discord up, on the side, and you're chatting with your friends on Discord and you're multitasking and that sort of thing, a PC is great for you. But for me, I play single player narrative heavy games.
Yeah, we know.
Very cinematic titles
Yes, we gathered that.
such as Death Stranding or Horizon or The Last of Us or Uncharted. And for those types of experiences, I feel like I'm missing out on something.
Yeah, man, I feel like I'm missing out on things when I'm in a scenario where I can be more twitchy with gameplay. I don't think you realized it, but you actually did just make the argument that a scenario that's better for Twitch gameplay, so better for fast reaction time, better for quick responses, you are arguing against that scenario. I mean, like, we all knew this. We all knew it wasn't actually about the gameplay to you. But the fact that you're just glossing right over this is wild. It's always so funny to me when people do this. You talk about how it's all about the games to you, the gameplay. I gotta be comfortable while playing the video games. And then you just openly admit that one of these scenarios is better for quick responses and fast-paced gameplay. And then you named games where I would think you want precision, like shooter games like Uncharted or Last of Us, but the scenario where the gameplay is better experienced, that's the bad scenario.
On a desktop, I feel like I am more immersed in the experience when I'm in my living room, the way I would be if I was watching a movie.
Oh, so you agree these are movie games? We're just saying that part out loud now. Okay.
I would hate to play these games at a desk.
I mean, I'm perfectly fine doing it. I've played a handful of the PlayStation games on my PC, and I don't feel like I've lost anything. I mean, other than the fact that they're piss easy on mouse and keyboard.
Point number 3. Point number 3 is, I'm sorry guys, but the PS5 Pro is still cheaper
No, it's not.
than a PC. Let me explain,
You're really gonna have to.
because I know this is a divisive topic.
It's only divisive if you don't know how to Google things.
Even at the $700 price point, the value package is still easier on the wallet than a PC.
Oh, we're going value? I thought we were gonna go hardware to hardware, but we're going value? I have to hear this.
Sure, you can save a lot of money on Steam, especially with their crazy Steam sales, and all of that is well and good. But if you want to get a comparable value package to the PS5, you're going to have to build that PC yourself.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, not too long ago, I saw a deal for this $400 pre-built with very comparable performance to the PS5 Pro. I've seen several pre-built PCs going on sale in the $600, $700 range with comparable performance to the PS5 Pro. Like, yeah, they're not as common, obviously. These are sales that I'm talking about, but my point is that it absolutely does happen. It's not like it's unheard of. And when the PS5 Pro gets closer to release, these sales are definitely going to be more frequent. A lot of PC companies are going to be trying to capitalize on the fact that so many people want this kind of experience and are willing to spend that much money. But also, why do you say this like it's a bad thing that you'll have to build it yourself? Because you're correct that pre-built PCs are generally more expensive than just getting the parts yourself and putting it together yourself. But why is that a bad thing? Building a PC is really not that difficult, especially not now when there are so many guides out there of how to do it yourself. And also, if you're planning on getting into PC gaming, it's probably a smart idea to build it yourself, because then you know how to take it apart, put it back together, swap out one piece, swap out two pieces in the future. It's just good knowledge to have if you're going to be a PC gamer.
And if you disagree with that, let me know.
Oh, I will. Don't worry. There's a whole video about it. You're watching it.
And when you do build it yourself, you're likely going to have to make some compromises in order to get it to a similar price point.
No, actually. You have this entirely backward. Do you know what you're talking about right now? You're saying if you want to get a PC that matches the PS5's performance, you say like, well, you're going to have to build it yourself, implying that like it's cheaper to get a bunch of pieces than it is to get a pre-built. But now you're saying if you're going to get a bunch of pieces, you have to compromise performance to get it to the price point? So now you're talking like it's the individual pieces route that's more expensive? Do you know what you're talking about at all? The answer is no, he doesn't. Don't worry, it gets worse.
And pre-built PCs, you've got to rule those out altogether, because a pre-built is going to cost you even more than if you were to buy the components separately and build the PC yourself.
Wrong. Again, $400 pre-built here. I understand this is a sale, but if you think it doesn't happen, you are just wrong.
And don't forget, the cost of all of those components together don't include some other things like the cost of the operating system.
This guy thinks we pay for operating systems.
And other incidental costs that you'll need in order to get that PC up and running.
Oh, incidental costs? You mean things like fucking disk drives? Sony? Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. A disk drive is not an incidental cost. Please tell me what an incidental cost is, if not a fucking disk drive on your fucking console.
And God help you if you happen to be inexperienced with building a PC.
Oh, you're not going to give an example. Okay, cool. Fuck you.
If you do one thing wrong, like maybe it's simple, I don't know, I've never done it myself.
Oh, believe me, we know. We can tell.
But even little things like dealing with thermal paste, like I know that,
Are you fucking serious? Thermal paste. Thermal paste. You're talking about potential problems that come up when building a PC, and you bring up thermal paste. Bro, pack it up. Pack it up. You have no idea what you're talking about.
That is a delicate thing. Like, it's very easy to put too much or not enough, and maybe that's just one example.
Yeah, no, it is just one example. What the fuck do you mean maybe that's one example? It is one example. English, motherfucker.
You may have installed a component incorrectly. It could be anything. Good luck trying to figure out what you did wrong once it's all together. Then you're pulling the whole thing apart and troubleshooting. And maybe I'm overcomplicating it.
Yes, you are overcomplicating it. You are grossly overcomplicating it. Little reminder of what I planted in your brain earlier about what he said. Remember when he said he can't even think of how many times he's had to check the specs of a game? Implying that he's been on PC at any point, really? And this is how you're talking about it? You're spending this long talking about fucking thermal paste? And you installed a component incorrectly when you built it, so now you gotta take the whole thing apart. I mean, if you just follow the fucking instructions, no, you don't. If you can put Legos together, you can put together a PC. It's just not difficult. You have a motherboard and a bunch of parts that go into the motherboard, and their slots are all shaped a certain way, so it's almost impossible to do it wrong. But man, remember the title of the video, PC gamers, man, they just don't get it.
Let me know down in the comments, but I'll tell you what, as someone who deals with constant anxiety in my life,
You're probably about to deal with some more.
I don't even want to deal with that. I just don't.
And if you don't want to deal with that, that's okay. You don't have to. I'm not making you. But I'm also not telling you to go out into the internet and tell everyone about how much you understand things and how little PC gamers understand things, and then just hold a megaphone up to the microphone and scream all the things you have no knowledge of. You chose to do this.
One final point on the cost. I know me. I have no self-control. None at all.
Skill issue. Move on.
If I were to go down the road of building myself a PC, I would want the best of the best that I could build at the time that I build it.
Okay. So?
I'd be tempted to spend way more than the cost of a PS5 Pro to build my custom PC. Reason number 4.
Oh, okay. We'll just move on from that one. No, what am I watching? How much longer is this? 4.5 minutes. Oh, okay. I can make it.
Portability. Now I know what you're thinking.
Steam Deck, ROG Ally, a laptop.
Who the hell is porting around their PS5? But getting down to brass tacks, if I want to move my PS5 to another room in the house and put it on another TV or do whatever, it's very easy for me to do that.
I mean, it's easy for me to do that with my PC as well, because I'm not a fucking wimp. I have a 70-pound pit bull. I had to carry him up and down the stairs for like a year because he's a weirdo pit bull who was afraid of stairs.
Good luck doing that with a PC.
I could do that with my PC right now. I don't even know how heavy my PC is. I'm looking at it right now, but it would not be an issue to move. You're talking about moving it from a room to a different room? How heavy do you think a PC is? Again, I couldn't even tell you how many times I had to check compatibility for my PC games. Motherfucker, have you even laid eyes on a PC at any point in your life? We're talking about moving it from one room to a different room. How is that hard? How is that demanding?
If I'm traveling, like say to a relative's or I'm on a trip, maybe staying in a hotel, and I want to bring my PS5 with me, if I really want to, I can do that. As cumbersome as that may be, it's not nearly as much trouble as it would be moving around the PC.
Okay, great. That's the first actual point you've made this entire video. Like that's the first actual objective advantage of a PS5 over a gaming PC. Congratulations. You can travel with a PS5 easier than you can travel with a full-size gaming PC. Never mind the fact that a full-size gaming PC is not a product you're supposed to travel with. So it's weird that this is the only positive point you can come up with. But everyone round of applause. Everyone round of applause. Took you 11 minutes and 39 seconds to find your first kind of positive argument. Let's see how you fuck it up.
Okay, so like say you don't want to move the PS5 around, but you still want to enjoy some portability.
Steam Deck. ROG Ally. A laptop.
That's why you have the PlayStation Portal. That's exactly who the PlayStation Portal is for.
Yeah, no, totally, dude. Totally. PlayStation Portal. A true marvel. True marvel of handheld gaming technology. Please just end this.
It used to be when it launched that you had to be on the same Wi-Fi connection as your PlayStation 5, but no more. You can now, with the PlayStation Portal, go across the country. If you don't believe me, there are video demonstrations of people doing just that very thing.
Yes, but you still have to have a PS5. You still have to have the base PS5. It's a companion piece. It's not a true portable console. It's not a true portable gaming machine. It is a companion piece. There is a huge difference.
Now, on the PC side of things, you have the Steam Deck. And Steam Deck is all well and fine, but Steam Deck is not compatible with every PC game.
Yeah, it's not compatible with every PC game, guys. Just a gigantic portion of them. I don't know the number off the top of my head. It could be like, 10, 20 games. Yeah. Actually, let me just Google how many games are officially Steam Deck compatible. Oh, that's how many are officially Steam Deck compatible. And that's not counting the games on Steam that run on the Steam Deck perfectly well but just don't have the check mark. That's not counting the games that run perfectly well on the Steam Deck but aren't on Steam, like all the emulators and all the other launchers. This is just the number of officially Steam Deck verified games. But oh no, dude. You can't play every PC game on the Steam Deck, bro. You can't play every PC game on the Steam Deck. PlayStation Portal's better.
There's a compatibility list, and some of them have compromises or just plain don't run.
Oh, compromise. Some of them have compromises, guys. Not like the PlayStation Portal. There's no compromises there. Except there are, like, a lot.
I tried to play V Rising on the Steam Deck, didn't work. With the PlayStation Portal, I can play any game that's in my library.
I love when people do this. It's like, oh, I tried to do this thing, and it didn't work. Moving on. Like, are you capable of troubleshooting? Even a little bit. I kind of just don't believe this happened.
These days, I play my PlayStation games digitally. So even if I don't have the game in my console, matter of fact, I can't because I have the PS5 digital edition. If I'm far away from home and I want to play that game, I can just download it to the console remotely through the portal. Bananas.
It's not bananas. Remote downloads have been a thing for like a decade on console and PC. How is that bananas? How new are you to gaming?
And so reason number 5, and this one from many people's perspective may be the most dumb. And you may even be laughing to yourself because you may think all the other things that I've said thus far are dumb, and that's all well and fine.
Yeah, you could say that.
I don't care. These are just my opinions. I'm not throwing shade at anyone.
Yeah, we're not throwing shade here. PC gamers only don't want the PlayStation 5 Pro because they just don't get it. No shade, though. Not throwing shade.
I'm not over here trying to sell anyone on the PS5 Pro.
Oh, we're not trying to sell people on the PS5 Pro. That's not what we're doing. Fucking news to me. What?
All I'm saying is the discourse online is overblown when it comes to the PS5 Pro and all these people saying, oh, you should just get a PC. You know, PC is better. Ba 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 ba.
Yes, if you are willing to spend $700+ on a gaming machine, you would get more value out of just investing in a PC. Like, objectively, you would get more value out of that. You would get more performance per dollar, and you would get access to a gigantically larger library of games. You would get cheaper games. You would get free online. You would get mods. You would get cheaper peripherals, cheaper controllers, more peripherals, and more controllers. Objectively, if you are starting from scratch, $700 into a PC is a better value than $700 into a PS5 Pro. That is objectively true.
I'm captive to the PS5 ecosystem.
What?
What do I mean by that? I have hundreds of games in my library. And I'm also a trophy hunter.
Oh my god. I know where this is going. I'll let you finish your point, but fuck, this is a dumb point.
Years ago, when Xbox introduced achievements, I thought the notion of this like metagame of completing certain mundane tasks for a digital accolade was pointless. Like, it made no sense. It was just plain stupid. But then I got my first platinum trophy years ago. At the time, happened to be Killzone 2.
Fucking great game. They gotta bring back Killzone, bro. Like, just leveling with you, dude. Fucking Killzone slaps.
And it took me quite a bit of effort to get that platinum. And when I got it, the feeling, like just like the endorphins, that like there's something chemically that occurs for some people. I have an addictive personality, so when that happened, I was hooked.
There are achievements on Steam. If you care so much, there's now trophy support for PlayStation games on PC. Xbox games now carry over their achievements onto the PC. Like, if you care, this, and like I try to sympathize, because I was also pretty invested in my Xbox achievements before I switched to PC. But then just like after a few weeks, you just kind of get over it, you know? Like, do I miss achievement hunting? Do I wish there was like one unified achievement hunting thing that I could use on all of my platforms for all of time? Yeah, totally. I wish there was something like that. But at the end of the day, who fucking cares, bro? At the end of the day, it's the games that are more important. And if you really want an equivalent to this, there exists an equivalent to this on the PC. And in a lot of cases, it's not even an equivalent. It's actually just the thing you've been working on already.
And so, you know, I've actually bought games multiple times that launched on other platforms and then later came to the PlayStation just so that I could get the trophies.
I think I've only done that once. Like deliberately buy a game on multiple platforms for the achievements. I think I've only done that for Brotato. I 100% in Brotato on Steam, and then the Xbox launcher version came out with Xbox achievements, and I did it again over there for the Xbox achievements. But that's just because I fucking love Brotato. That game slaps. That has nothing to do with anything I've been talking about this far.
And so there you have it, guys. Those are my 5 reasons for why I feel PC gamers just don't understand the PS5 Pro.
We understand it just fine. We just don't fucking want it. And you say this like a minute after you said that you aren't trying to sell anyone on the PS5 Pro. Dude, buddy, this is horrendous. There's another like 40 seconds left of the video. I'm not gonna watch them because that's basically all he has to say. Oh my god. I don't think anyone's gonna make it to the end of this video. I could really say whatever I want at this point. I was gonna make some like, thoughtful conclusion or like really wrap up my thoughts, but really, if you've watched up to this point, you know my thoughts. There's not really anything I can add at this point that I haven't already made clear, I don't think. I really could say anything at this point. Now I'm just like looking around my home office and trying to find something to talk about. I have this water bottle that has a bunch of Disney Robin Hood characters on it. Remember Disney Robin Hood, the one with the foxes? I mention this movie whenever I can. I fucking love this movie. I grew up on this movie, and then I always had this like idea in my head that this movie was like really, really good. And it was like, oh my god, it's so underrated. It's so great. And then I didn't watch it for a while, basically like trying to preserve that in my head. And I rewatched it recently. Dude, this movie is great. Disney Robin Hood is so fucking funny. Like legitimately one of the funniest Disney movies, and no one talks about it for that. It's just a great movie, and it has such a goofy sense of humor. I love it. It's almost like a prototype of Emperor's New Groove, really. Because Emperor's New Groove is also is also just like a fucking hysterical movie that just came out of nowhere. Usually Disney doesn't do just straight comedies, at least not their animated movies. They don't do just like straight comedies. But for some reason they did with Emperor's New Groove, and the story of that movie's production is fascinating. Like how it started out as a big epic musical, and there's that cut musical number that Eartha Kitt sings that is absolutely amazing. But then the version they settled on was pretty good. Oh, my wife's calling me. You know what? That's it. Toodles.